If you read the title of this video, which I'm pretty sure you obviously did, and you knew it, or I guess you guessed it, I got a bass guitar. Look at this baby. I am a huge fan, or sometimes am a huge fan, of the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons. I watched them perform some stuff online on YouTube of their Victory Tour, and the bassist brother of the band, Jermaine, was playing with one of his big hit songs, Let's Get Serious, which was huge back in the late 70s or early 80s, and I saw him perform it live during their tour back in '84, and I was really amazed by the sound that his bass was producing, and I'm like, what is that sound? Why does it sound like that? And the more that I began to hear it, the more I wanted to keep listening to it. So I just kept playing the same slapping, popping sound all over again. It kind of sounds like that, but he's a professional, I'm an amateur. So I began to really look more deep into bass, and I found this video with this guy playing a right-handed bass left-handed. And I was like, wow. Guy was playing Good Times by Chic, a really huge hit song back then in the day too, but that was also pretty cool. And he was like slapping it and like doing crazy with like these hand movements and shit, and I'm like, whoa, this is pretty freaking cool. I gotta check this shit out. I began to listen to the bass lines for certain songs, and I'm like, damn, this sounds really freaking good, like I have to listen closely to it and pay like attention to it, and like I feel like sometimes the bass itself really can get the foundation done in the background, sets the tone, glues every other instrument together, and it really just sounds good. And some songs with the bass line, like the bass line makes me want to dance. I went to a guitar center maybe once or twice, fiddled around with a little bass, not really caring too much about it, not really doing much, and I never really bought one because I never thought I'd have enough money, and also because I thought I'd never truly commit to this. I spoke to one of my professors at my college, and I noticed how he had a guitar, and I was talking to him about how I consider getting a bass guitar. And I always went to the Guitar Center, and they always had them on display, but those were like way too expensive. He emailed me one time, and I didn't realize the amazing opportunity that I was missing for years. Guitar Center has these offers and these bundles where you can get a basic set of equipment with a guitar or a bass for like super cheap. Sure, I thought I had to spend freaking, $800 plus, maybe even thousands of dollars, but that's just the expensive equipment. I got something pretty cheap. I got a bass guitar, an amp wire, a strap, and literally a gift card with free lessons to teach me how to play it for like $325. Thanks to some cool Black Friday sale. I bought it at like 1:00 a.m., went to the store the next day, and I just started practicing. And I recorded a ton of my progress. Some of it was filmed kind of sloppy, as my bad on my part, but most of it is good. I'm gonna show off the footage and everything that I learned, and just be like, hey, we can learn new things. We can, start to learn to love the process and have fun and learn something new and challenge ourselves every single day. And that's what I'm doing for this video. I spent about a month practicing bass. And I'm gonna show you some of the footage and how I progressed. I have a Squier Affinity jazz bass, and it's white. Honestly, I was going maybe from like a blue, like a teal, but the color doesn't really matter. I'm playing this to try it out, and the best part about this is that, hey, if I don't like this, within 45 days, I could bring all this stuff back and literally get my money back guaranteed. I struggled with the strap at first, but I'm just going to keep it like this. I think I'll figure out the rest later on. I'm no Chris Novoselic. I'm not going to bring it all the way down. Moment of truth. Show this baby purr. Okay, it's not even on. Quick little beat. I'm learning it though. I just gotta focus more on the fretboard up here and less on the stuff down here. For the majority of my first day practicing, I was really just messing around. I had no idea what I was doing. I knew certain things when it came to the fretboard and for plucking strings, but I mean, I'm a newbie and it feels super uncomfortable, so you'll be seeing a little bit more of that from the beginning, but it will slightly get better, I can assure you. This is day 2 of me trying to learn to play the bass. Camera angle's a little weird. Got my bass here, and I've been trying to practice more on making better notes, like better sounding, because like there's a constant buzzing. I'm trying to control my fretting hand here, my left hand, to try to get close to the fret, if not almost on top of it, to try to produce a better sound. So, for example, if I was to try that right now, it would be right there on the E string, and then if I try to go down, sounds like shit, right? But if I put it over here, it's kind of like that, man. I hit the A string on accident, but it's kind of like that. I think this exercise that I was practicing here, I believe I probably looked up. Maybe it was for me to get my fingers more warmed up and more associated with the bass, but I was playing it way too fast, which is a mistake I'm probably going to repeat numerous times, even now. Kind of like that. A little distorted, my middle finger or my thumb was moving a little bit that way, but it's not that bad. This is day 3 of learning to play the bass. One thing that I learned, I think it was yesterday, was that guitars and basses are like pianos, but instead of it being keys, it's just strings. And what I mean by this is that the way that I'm going to be navigating from down the fretboard to up the fretboard is literally going to be going in the exact same order of half steps and whole steps on a piano. And I guess I'll probably show some other footage of me playing the piano to somewhat resemble what I'm talking about, so check that out on the side. And I'm gonna be going to an F. Okay, this is where the first half step starts. Then it'll be me going from F to then going to F sharp, and then G. The half step is from F to F sharp, from one fret right down to the next one. Whole step would be from like this, from here all the way to here. You know, from the first fret here to the third fret here. And it's very similar to piano. So like when I think about the piano and their half steps and then their whole steps, it allows me to understand, you know, what half steps and whole steps are when it comes to playing the bass, because it's practically similar, if not almost the same thing. It's just keys and strings. So that's going to help me memorize the fretboard more and understand the notes a lot better. I mean, there's probably still is a lot more for me to learn, but with that, it's just a lot easier, and I feel like I'm able to grasp the concept of how notes will be going in a certain order. So I guess that's something I learned, and hey, that's a start. I got something. Day number 4 of learning to play the bass. I was able to down tune, or at least I think decently down tune my guitar, basically down a half step for each and every string for this song I'm practicing called Running with the Devil by Van Halen. I don't know when they made that song, but I was recommended this bass line by some guy on YouTube. It's named like Bass Buzz or something like that, and it's a very easy bass line to do, and I was able to down tune it. So we went from E to E flat, A to A flat, D to D flat, and then G to G flat. It might be a little bit more up than I think. Maybe these last 2 strings might be a little bit still in standard tuning, but it's not perfect. I'm gonna pick that up as I go. The bass line was pretty simple. I think I was just playing E flat 0. Basically just like E flat open. It was like the whole entire time. And then gradually I'd have to do this and play a little lick, I think. Like this. Well, no, like this. And there was like a slide, and it was like from 5, basically like E flat 5, down all the way to back all the way down to E flat 1, so like kind of like that, I think. And then I would basically, and then also I would use my middle finger here, go on the 12th fret, I believe, the 12th fret here, and go like this. Also, I've heard it's easier to put your bass more facing this way. That way it's easier to navigate the higher frets, so. kind of just stuff like that. It's not much, but it's a start. And I'm learning the song slowly, and I'm probably gonna post me practicing the song on my Instagram story. So maybe I'll put that in, or maybe I won't, because I mean YouTube and copyright and shit. So I probably won't do that. But I'm learning the bass line slowly but surely. And here I am just practicing the slide that I mentioned before for the song Running with the Devil by Van Halen. I think I was kind of just goofing off. I think I just wanted to film something just to film because I didn't really have much else to offer. I'm still here in the learning phase. And I guess since I'm at it, I can now mention this. I am a lefty. I write with my left hand, but they don't have any lefty bass guitars at Guitar Center. And the only place that actually had lefty bass guitars or lefty guitars with Sam Ash, but they closed their doors permanently everywhere, so I could never get one of those. But one of the guys there told me that if I'm just starting out, it doesn't really matter which way I go. So I got a righty, and yeah, I can't get it restrung because it'll probably get messed up or something with the strings, it might break easy or something like that. But I've been playing righty, and it was a little bit weird at first, but I think also because the fact that I'm new, it doesn't really matter which hand I pluck the strings with, so I play with a righty, and now I'm used to it. I remember this part vaguely. I was tuning back into Bass Bus to get some guidance and some advice for when it came to playing notes on the fretboard. I was trying to go like up the fretboard on the E string and also go down it up it on the A string, and I was having a hard time just really trying to control my fingers because it just kept on buzzing over and over, and eventually I guess I just kind of moved on from this. I got frustrated and I'm just like, I don't care about this right now. What I was mainly trying to do here was just trying to play all natural notes going from the E string all the way to the G string. I don't remember why I did this, but maybe it was also just to help me memorize where all the natural notes are in standard tuning. Hopefully this was entertaining. Hopefully this was, somewhat interesting to you guys. Hopefully it was. If you have any tips or suggestions for how to play the bass a little bit better, let me know in the comments below. I am more than willing to learn, whether it's, my fretting position, whether it's my posture, like anything like that, or anything, that with your knowledge, feel free to tell me. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be posting a part 2 and maybe a part 3 later on. Not quite sure when, but at least I put out part 1. And I will be putting out part 2 very soon. So yeah, take care.